Hello, I'm James here. I'm going to make a continuation of this video on Dilbert, the creator. And this is, you're going to hear the audio of Information Man's channel and what this man said about his view on black people. Okay.
Alone, but you can't leave us alone. See, even though he says this, ladies and gentlemen,
Rasmussen to this poll
listen.
And I would say, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people. Just to get them away.
All right, get the F away. You heard him say that.
Tell
Good.
the truth.
Because we've been asking you to leave us alone for years. So get away from us. Any white folks out there that feel that you don't want to be associated with black people because of this poll or any poll, leave us alone. Don't move into our neighborhoods that you have contributed to pumping drugs into. With your counter, with your CIA and all that, bringing drugs. Remember, Miss Maxwell brought the CIA director to South Central LA some years ago, and they admitted that they were pumping drugs in LA, and they used that Sambo, Gumbo, Rick Ross, who I don't understand why any of us celebrate this man, because he did total destruction on his own people, selling those drugs to his own people. Didn't the FBI do a job on us with Malcolm X? Taking him out of here. They were bugging Dr. King. There are also documents out there floating around that they were bugging and doing things to Coretta Scott King. Oh yeah, I got the documents. And I'm so happy that the daughter of Malcolm X is gonna sue these alphabet outfits. We've been asking to be left alone for a very long time, haven't we, ladies and gentlemen?
Tell
But
the
they can't
truth.
leave us alone. And he thinks that he's throwing us a bone by saying to white people, stay away from black people. As if white society hasn't stereotyped black people anyway. You can't drive by being black, you can't eat barbecue by being black. When you go down the street jogging, they can do harm to you. We're seen as criminals in society. They've already been wanting to stay away from us. When black people historically moved into neighborhoods that white people lived in, white people fled away. Why do you think that Jackson, Mississippi is in the condition that it's in with its water system and everything? Because they lost a lot of income when you had white flight. Black people moved in and you had white flight. When you look at Los Angeles, South Central area, people don't know this. In South Central used to be made up of Europeans. And when black people start moving in, they start moving out. It's a whole history book of it. Every time black people move into white communities that are upstanding black people who just want to raise their families like anyone else, white people move out, or they try to kick you out. Did you all see the movie Raisin in the Sun? What happened in Raisin in the Sun? They were trying to buy a house in a white community, and the white folks were trying to figure out how they could keep them from buying the house and get them out of the neighborhood. So you've already been getting away from us any damn way. What's new?
Tell the truth.
And we shouldn't cry any tears over what Scott Adams said, because Scott Adams is only speaking the truth about how he feels, and there's many other people who feel just like him. Now that he's decided to leave the black race, because he said he was black, to join the white race again. So funny. Now, let's get to the next video. Check this out. Hear this one.
And I'm also really sick of seeing video after video of black Americans beating up non-black citizens. I realize it's anecdotal, and it doesn't give me a full picture.
But wait a minute. I thought that you were black. Aren't you supposed to say, I'm tired of my people beating up other groups? You see what they try to do? You got problems in America with all race of people that get attacked by, look. Asians attack Asians. Black people attack black people. White people attack white people for the most part. All sorts of people, when they live in close proximity to each other, will attack each other if you're criminal minded. But now he wants to say, I'm tired of seeing black people I guess he's not black anymore, ladies and gentlemen. He claimed that he was black. I'm sick of seeing black people attacking people that are other people of other races, trying to blame us for these ills in society as if we're the only ones who engage in these acts, as if white people don't engage in activities. Look at all these Karens around this country, as if white people don't engage in violent acts. Look at the black farmer in Colorado. His wife and him have been terrorized by what? By the white folks and the other racial folks in the community. You've got a Latino sheriff who took their cameras away from them so that they could see what their neighbors were doing. And that's why we should stop using that term, people of color.
Tell the truth.
Listen to this.
What's happening? But every damn day I look on social media and there's some black person beating the shit out of some white person. I'm kind of,
You hear that BS?
Tell
You hear that BS?
the truth.
So he says every day that he looks at the newspaper or looks at that there's a black person beating the hell out of some person, a white person. So now he's trying to say that we go around specifically attacking white people. Last time I checked, white people go around harming us too. Let's see, they usually have a badge, they usually have a car called police car, and when a black man is jogging and minding his own business, you have retired white people who will pull out their rifles and shoot us, delete us. I see he doesn't have anything to say about that. But once again, you said white people should get the hell away from us, which I think is not a problem. Do that. It might benefit us.
and I would say, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people.
Good.
Tell the
We
truth.
want you to stay the hell away from us too and leave us alone when we have our own communities. Stop coming in and interfering, and stop interfering with our discussions and what we want to do. Now, let me show you what his history is. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know that this man, as I put this picture up of him, do you know he was already dropped from another newspaper before he came on his YouTube channel and said what he said? He's gone on, and he also said that black people don't value education too. Do you know that this man was already kicked out of the San Francisco Chronicle newspaper prior to all this happening? So there were people that didn't even like what he was doing. Let me put this clip up here for you. And before I do that, Mr. Eli Musk, the man that everybody makes a big deal out of because he's a billionaire. Remember, Eli Musk grew up in South Africa. He's from South Africa. What was going on in South Africa? Apartheid. How do they treat South Africans, black South Africans? They treat them poorly. He made his money. His family made their money, some of their money in that apartheid system when he grew up privileged. So he gets on his Twitter, which this has been deleted, folks, but I got it for you. Eli Musk says for a very long time, the United States media was racist against non-white people. Now they are racist against white and Asians. Give me a break. Give me a break. What racism is affecting white people or Asians? Far as we've been told, Asians are the model minorities. Asians are getting college education and going to school more than anybody else. Last time I checked, white people pretty much have everything lock, stock, and barrel economically in this country. And this is a man who's not even American. Eli Musk ain't even American. Same thing happened with elite colleges and high schools in America. Maybe they can try not being racist. Wow, isn't that interesting? Then Eli is showing more support, says this. What are they complaining about? Eli Musk deletes his tweets in reply to Scott Adams' tweets about newspapers dumping him. Yeah, he's been dumped by 300 newspapers, and he deserves it. He deserves, as far as I'm concerned. Let me bring this up to you. By the way, the latest recent report, National Telephone and Online Survey, found that 79% of American adults agree with the statement. Black people can be racist too, including 53% who strongly agree, just 12% disagreed, and another 10 are not sure to see the survey questions and words. Now, this is the thing that's a trip about this, ladies and gentlemen. Let me read
Tell
this to you.
the truth.
Black people can be racist too. 76% agreed, 27% disagreed, right? It's okay to be white. 72% of Americans agreed in this jacked up poll. Okay, agreed. That's overall Americans. 12% disagree. Why is he not talking about that 12% of Americans who disagreed, right? Now, 69% of Democrats agreed that it was okay to be white. 12% disagree. Reason why it brings up Democrats, because this is a right-wing publication or poll, and the goal is to make Democrats look bad. But this is the thing. They're both the same. Democrats screw you with Vaseline, and Republicans screw you without Vaseline. Now, this is what black people say. Now, I don't know who these black people are, but check this out. Black people can be racist too. 79% Americans agreed. So I read that already, but this is what's going on with this whole situation. Now, check this out. This is Scott's. This is Scott's tweets. This is his tweets right here. Is it racist to avoid racists who are the same race as each other, or is it only racist if the race you are avoiding are white? He just said that white people should avoid, using his logic, using this goofball's logic, that would make him now racist to tell white people to stay away from us. He would be doing the same thing to us that he's accusing black people of doing to white people. So, dude, you can't have it both ways. And you use a poll that doesn't even represent all black people. And I feel sorry for those of you out there who even enjoyed listening and reading this man's comic strips, and now he's been banned from all of these places. Now let me show you something. Let me show you something, ladies and gentlemen. This one's gonna really blow you away. Make sure you share this video on your social media, your community tab, your content creator. I appreciate Dever Guns, Jill Chocolate Boutique, Agrarium Progressive, Jamming is in the house, Empress Goddess is in the house, Healthy Conscious is in the house. Thank you for being here. Let me see. What's going on? I guess you guys had to get rid of his messages in there. Vaseline, that's my. Okay, yeah, that was a troll, I guess. Thank you, mods. Now check this out. This man says that he's black. He's black. That he's down. He sees himself as a black person. Check this out. I want to play this video for you to let you hear something. Check this out. This is on Hotep Jesus. I think a lot of you know who this guy is. He has a popular podcast. Let's check this out.
We get into that. I want to ask you something. This is my own personal question. A lot of the other questions I'm reading the room, see what you would say.
Fair use, fair use, fair use. Education purposes.
Identifying as when did that come about? Because that took me off. I was caught off guard.
Listen to this nonsense again.
How did that come about? Why did you make that decision?
So I'm trying to remember when it was, but several years ago, I said I'm going to identify as black. Now, part of the reason was that I could. It was just an option, right? So I thought, well, that's...
You see the arrogance right there? He says, the reason why I chose to be black is because I could. It's that same saying, I'm white and I say so. Whatever they say, they can be. So if he says he's black, we can't tell him that he ain't black, because he can be whatever he deems to be. He can he's like a shapeshifter. He can slide into being a white boy or a black guy. You see what he just did there? Interesting. And the host, Hotep, had to kind of laugh to himself and chuckle. But see, this is the thing that we do wrong. Why are we interviewing turkeys like this? I don't want to be disrespectful to Hotep Jesus, but I got to say, black people, why are we even wasting our time interviewing these people that think like Scott Adams? Why give them any more shine? Why ask them any questions when we I
Now,
can.
part of the reason was that I could. It was
Because I could.
right? So I thought, well, that sounds good.
Listen to that. This is your white liberal, ladies and gentlemen. I can. So now the white man is telling us that he can choose to be black, when he can choose what he wants because it's an option. He's saying it so casual, like he's just putting on a pair of shoes for the day, some flip-flops for the day. He's going on a vacation for the day. I'm gonna be black for the day. It's crazy. But I like this because I really like hearing how people like him really think. We need to hear them tell their truth.
Tell the truth.
Or how they really feel about us.
But then I thought I could get the best of both worlds. If there's anything ever that's like, rationed by race, I can say, well, I identify as black. And if people wanted to treat me as white because they like that, they'd look at me and say, well, I think he looks white. So I thought I could get the best of both worlds, sort of a mix. But the less funny answer is that I was spending tons of time working on things that were directly for the benefit of the black community. So a lot of the things I was advocating for. So for example, a lot of people don't know that I'm left-wing. A lot of your audience is going to be confused because they...
That's what I was trying to tell you all. What did I say earlier in the program? Your liberals, your left-wing liberals, are just as racist as your right-wing conservatives, white conservatives. They're just as racist, if not more racist. And they think that they can talk slick like this because they think that they know us and that they can be black one day and white the other day, whatever they choose. Let's hear the rest.
The headlines are saying I'm a right-wing MAGA guy. I'm actually endorsing Vivek Ramaswamy for president, primarily because I'm a single-issue voter on fentanyl. He's pretty tough on fentanyl. But what people don't know is I'm super left-wing. I volunteered to work for Black Lives Matter. Helped Hawk Newsom try to wrap.
Now, what you need to understand, folks, is that these so-called liberal Democrats like Scott Adams, they're just wolves in sheep clothing. He's going to say how he supported Black Lives Matter, then he turned around and realized that Black Lives Matter was a fraud, so he doesn't support them anymore. But what you need to also understand is that you see how he's so arrogant in the way he claims that he's black, but you heard him in the other video say that he no longer wants to be a part of a hate group. You see? Now, black people in America, we're the hate group, even though we have no history, no historical history of being a terrorist group or terrorist people towards white society. But I like his honesty in what he's saying because we need to hear more like him. Come out, jump out the window, and tell us how you really, really think.
Tell the truth.
Now, this is a man who claims to be a black person. You heard him say that, right? Here's his cartoon. Right? Here's another comic strip that I showed you earlier in the program, right? Now, this is what I found out. For a guy who claims that he's for the black people, I'm for the blacks. Do you know how long it took him to introduce a black comic in a black character in his comic strip, but yet he's claiming that he's a black man? It took him 36 years to introduce this black character right here.
Damn.
There's the date on it. Monday, May 2nd, 2022. The man's been in the cartoon business for over 36 years. Talks about that he's black and he's this and that. And it took him 36 years to introduce one black character in his comic strip. Only one. But he's supposed to be a soul brother number one. You're 36 years in the comic game. 36 years in the comic game. Made a lot of money. And you don't introduce a single black character until you get to year 36. And you running around here telling everybody what a soul brother number one you are. But you don't want to be a part of a hate group because 26% of a janky poll that's biased was 53% of black people said it was okay to be black. You didn't emphasize that. You emphasized the part that triggered you. And now you're saying you don't want to be black anymore. It's laughable. Because you never were black in the first place.
Tell the truth.
Y'all hear what I'm saying tonight? Let's go back in. Oh, he even had the nerve to put his 2 cents in because he's black, y'all. He even had the nerve to put his 2 cents in as it relates to the reparations issue. But this is what I wanted to show y'all too. Check this out. Check this out. This was in the Washington Post. The San Francisco Chronicle stopped publishing Dilbert in recent months after the strip that joked about reparations for slavery. So that's supposed to be a soul brother. This guy right here, see, he was already showing his racism way before he went into his rant, ladies and gentlemen. This was the San Francisco Chronicle. In the Times-Union, they dropped his comic because he made jokes about the reparations movement, even though he's a soul. This is way before the issue about him talking about that poll. The let me say it to you right now. Let me read it to you right now. The San Francisco Chronicle stopped publishing Dilbert, that's his comic strip, in recent months after the strips that joked about reparations for slavery in inclusive workplace. Editors at the Post told the Time-Union very few readers noticed when we killed it, and we only had a handful of complaints, meaning people not even reading the bullshit. Now check this out. On the comic strip where he first introduces a black character after 36 years in the game, make sure y'all share this video. It says here, management asked me to add some diversity to the engineering team. You see what he's doing here? Meet Dave. The black character that he puts in his comic strip identifies as white. You see what he's doing? He sort of made him look like that Sambo, Jesse Lee Peterson. Then he says, "You're running everything, Dave." You see this? And then San Francisco Chronicle stopped running his comic strip as well as the Time-Union because he was making fun of reparations. Although he's telling you and me, I identify as black. I've done so much for black people. I want to be a part of a winning team. But yet, some years ago, a couple months back, San Francisco Chronicle and the Time-Union got rid of his comic strip, and they said that none of the readers noticed that the comic strip was gone. Meaning they didn't care about the comic strip. They weren't reading the comic strip. People wasn't with his comic strip. You see what I'm saying to you? Are you reading what's on the screen, ladies and gentlemen?
Tell the truth.
Now, let me put up the next flip, the next one. Another one. Once again, from the Washington Post. This is what he said. This is what was quoted. "You should absolutely be racist." This is Scott Adams. "You should absolutely be racist whenever it's to your advantage." This is what he's saying. Every one of you should be open to making a racist personal career decision. Most of my income will be gone by next week because he's lost 300 papers are not gonna put his cartoon out there. He told about 3,000 live stream viewers, "My reputation for the rest of my life is destroyed." I don't care, man. You can't come back from this. I'm right. There's no way you can come back from this. But he also admitted to the New York Post that you should absolutely be racist whenever it's to your advantage, which is what they've been doing. Individuals like Scott Adams, that's what they've been doing any damn way. Every one of you should be open to making a racist personal career decision. That's what this man right here, who wants to tell you and me that he's black. Check this out again.
A lot of the other questions we read the room, see what people are saying. But what I want to do is the identifying as black. When did that come about? Because that took me off. I was caught off guard. When did that happen? How did that come about? Why did you make that decision?
So I'm trying to remember when it was, but several years ago, I said I'm going to identify as black. Now, part of the reason was that I could. It was just an option, right?
See?
So I thought, well, that sounds good.
And then he says this.
And I don't want to have anything to do with them. And I would say, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people. Just to get the best of both worlds. If there's anything ever that's like, rational.
Fair use, fair use, fair use.
See how you
Well, I
switch?
identify as black.
You switch.
People wanted to treat me as white because they like that. They look at me and say, well, I think he looks white. So that's a hate group. That's a hate group. And I don't want to have anything to do with them. And I would say, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people.
You see that right there? And my best advice to black people right now that have heard this is don't be triggered by what he said. Take it in, analyze it, recognize that there's plenty more white liberals like Scott Adams who feel the same way. And what we want is for them to come clean and tell us how they really feel. It's liberating to know, because these are the type of individuals who go to our churches. They'll come in and do and donate money, and they'll talk blackity black, and they're for the black community, and then they want to help us. And these are the people that will come around us as wolves in sheep clothing. These are the people that we look at, we bow down and say, the white man's ice is colder than the black man's ice. This should be what he said should be liberating, but it also should give us it should show you the psychology of the thinking. Especially when he says, hey, I can be black because, hey, I can. That's a choice that I can make, just like that. Black people who are biologically black, we don't have a choice. When we go out into the world, we can't turn our blackness off, because when we go out into the world sees us as black, and they may treat us such. We may experience some racism, maybe we may experience some prejudice, we may experience some social biases towards us in some cases. We can't turn it off. I can't turn it off. But this man says he can do it because it's an option. He's got the option. Listen, the arrogance.
By race, I can say, well, I identify as black. And if people wanted to treat me as white because they like that, they look at me and say, well, I think he looks white.
Fair
so I
use.
could get the best of both worlds, sort of a mix. But the less funny answer is that I was spending tons of time working on things that were directly for the benefit of the black community.
You see that right
Tell
there?
the truth.
Another thing I want to show you, ladies and gentlemen, is I thank you all in the chat room for being here, for participating. We got Wow and Warning in the house, Mike B, Chaos, Rain is here. Y'all funny on YouTube, man. Y'all funny. Y'all funny. Anyway, let me play something for you. Now he wants to tell us. Appreciate everybody that's here though, promoting, supporting the channel. Now he wants to tell us about reparations. The Soul Brother #1. Check him out.
That's how top soul became the capitalists. Tried to
Fair use for education, for teaching purposes,
Fair use on my video
for
too.
criticism, fair use.
Now you said in reparations you ran into some weak arguments. For reparations, what were the weaker arguments, and what did you think were the stronger arguments?
Well, I think the argument is
What's going on, Phil? about our reparation plight and what we shouldn't do because you're going to take it from. I thought that you're supposed to be a soul brother number one, Scott Adams. You said that you was black, that you can interchange between being black. So you should be stock, lock, and barrel with it. But then, of course, we do have biological black people on these YouTube streets and off these YouTube streets who believe that black people shouldn't get reparations. You should stay away from black people like that.
Tell the truth.
Let's go back to it.
There would be a clever way that both conservatives and the left and the black community would all say, okay, we weren't thinking of it that way, but that could work. And it goes like this. If you could, especially the Republicans, if they could work with the black community to focus on education, whatever that takes, some say homeschool, some say funding schools, it's probably all of that, plus teachers unions. But if they could concentrate on that one thing, and just make this agreement, we're going to save the next generation of black kids, but we're going to save everybody's.
Boom! Here comes the but. You know how this works, ladies and gentlemen. He wants to say the all-white, knowing white man wants to tell black people, we're going to give you education. Education is the key. We already know that. He also said in his rant that black people didn't value education. No, some of us do value education. But now he wants to sit up here and say, we're going to save the black youth with education. But we got to also help the other kids. Once again, they want to include everybody with our shit, right? Once again, it's this people of color nonsense. Every time black people are trying to strive for something, they want to include and crowbar other people in. No, let those people get what they got to get. Don't include them, but this is the great white hope telling us what we need to do. Check this out.
And just make this agreement. We're going to save the next generation of black kids, but we're going to save everybody who's in that situation at the same time.
Stop it right there. He put a fat butt in there, but we're going to save other people. You see this?
But we're going to do it because it's right, for reparations, etc. If you do it that way, then the black people would be benefiting, at least the next generation, because it wouldn't be so useful for the current people. But the people who are part of that.
Did you hear what he just said? That it would not reparations, his form of reparation, which is the educational component, would not be useful only for the younger generation, but not for the current generation. You see what he just did? You see what he just did there? Then he wanted to pigeon it into other people. You see the slick talk?
Part of something pretty great. Something I think is important as the civil rights movement. Now, the civil rights movement didn't work because only black people were protesting. Right? It required a lot of white friends.
Did you hear what this man said? The civil rights movement didn't work because it required a lot of white people. White friends. So he's simply saying the civil rights movement didn't work because black people didn't have enough white friends, and you didn't have enough white folks to save you. It's the Messiah complex. White man, come and save us. It's the Jesus effect. It's the white Jesus effect. White Jesus is going to come and save us. White Jesus has all the godly answers to our problems.
This is a perfect situation. But if we focus on how do you transfer money, I feel as if all those committees that are being formed, to study it, that's how white people make a problem go away. I hate it.
No, I do agree with him. This must be his black side coming out right now, y'all. I do agree with him right here when he says making those committees to study reparations is another way for white people to make a problem go away that they don't want to pay for, they don't want to deal with. I do agree with that. Maybe that's the black side of him coming out now. Listen to this.
I tell you that's what's going on, but that is nothing but to make the problem go away. Like everybody who has any experience in an organization, a company, if you want to make it just say you got to study it, form a group. That'll make it go away. Not according to me. According to this poll, that's a hate group. That's a hate group, and I don't want to have anything to do with them. And I would say, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people. Just get them away. And I'm also really sick of seeing video after video of black Americans beating up non-black citizens. I realize it's anecdotal, and it doesn't give me a full picture of what's happening.
Information is power.
You notice that he says that he's sick of seeing videos of black people beating up other people, but he doesn't say anything about the numbers of black men and women that have been harmed by police over these years. Yet he says, I'm going to play this again. Yet he says that he's black. Listen to this.
But what I want to do is the identifying as black. When did that come about? Because that took me off. I was caught off guard. When did that happen? How did that come about? Why did you make that decision?
So I don't remember when it was, but several years ago, I said I'm going to identify as black. Now, part of the reason was that I could. It was just an option, right?
Tell
Boom.
the truth.
He can identify with being black because he could. It was just an option. But we know as black people, being black is not an option. It isn't something that we identify with because we can. It's because it's a part of our culture. It's how we grow up. It's our biology. It's how we look. We can't interchange. You see this? This is your liberal. This is your white liberal who will come to us and say, hey, we got all the social programs for you. Come on, we're not racist. We know you better than... No, they're just as bad as the Republican Klan. I'm not letting the Republicans off either. They're just as bad. This is nonsense. I have executed tonight a full show to show you all the inconsistencies. He comes up with a comic strip in which he waits 36 years before he introduces a comic strip with a black character in it, and he has the black character identifying as white. Now, I know it's supposed to be a joke, it's supposed to be funny, but it's interesting that that's how he chose to set this up. Interesting.
Tell the
because
truth.
he identifies as being black, but now he don't want to be a part. And guess what? I don't care if he don't want to be a part of black society. And I don't care if he wants to get away from us. Get away from us then. If that's how you feel, and any other white person out there that feels the same, good, go away. You need to leave us alone anyway. Every time we're doing our own thing, you come around, some of you come around, and you cause problems. You infiltrate. You're nosy. You're asking us too many damn questions. Any damn way. Leave us alone. Go do your own thing. You've already moved out of our communities before. You already try to redline us out of moving into your communities. You always have never wanted us. And as you're moving back into the urban environment where black people live, the communities are being gentrified and white people are moving in. And when they move in, black people get moved out. A long time ago, it was called urban renewal, and black people called it Negro removal. You see what's happening in Los Angeles, over there near where the Rams play? Inglewood, California. Black folks are going to be gentrified, and they are being gentrified out of that part of LA. White folks come in, and then you have to go, black person. So it's already been happening. He didn't say anything that was new, and we shouldn't be shocked by what Scott Adams said. We should look at it as another example of what we've already always known. We should look at it as another example that one of his compadres, Mr. Eli Musk, was on board with the nonsense. This is the man that runs Twitter, right? He was on board with it. He was down with what Scott was talking about, and many more. And guess what? I don't have a problem with it because now it lets you know where you stand with some of these folks, how they think, and now they can't fool you when they try to come to your community and act like they're trying to be what we call a good doer for the black community.
and
Well,
protecting wealth is
that's
more
pretty much
daunting than
right
ever.
there.
Amid
and see that to be evident.
Fair use.
If they won't do nothing for Black America, Stacey Abrams was asked point blank about what could she do for Black Americans in Georgia, and she clearly said it's not enough Black people to be doing things for because we are less in population, so you have to focus on everybody else. She clearly said that. But she's going to show up to Nigeria and actually help you with your election and telling you, well, you may not get the election that you want. Stacey, you're a two-time failed governor candidate. You're a failure, okay? The only thing you can do is footwork for the Democrat Party. I guess they say, well, Stacey, you were done great at just getting people to vote. Why don't you go to Nigeria and see if you can handle that? Like, Lord Jesus. Nigerians, be concerned. Be concerned. That's what the space I heard earlier. Boy, they were going in about some of that stuff. But anyway, he said, brother said, all you can do is teach people how to fail. Exactly. But I just want to just cover that real quick before we get into the next part, which I really want to talk about here today. So, them folks, you know, they get to a point with Black America where they tired of hiding. Tired of hiding, they're tired of hiding how they feel about you, how they feel about me. You know me. I think one of them called me an accelerationist. There you go. And due to me being an accelerationist, that's what they say I am. I like them to expose themselves. I like them to say how they really feel because I don't like my people deceived on anything. Deception is one way they kept you in bondage for a long time. Is you deceiving yourself that this is not the way you feel about us as Black people. And before I continue on the Ghana trip, make sure I do that before I forget because I want to get in a roll and I don't want to talk about that. There's 15 spots left on the Ghana trip. If you'd like to go on the Ghana trip, there's a link in the pinned comment also. We are on the pinned chat. We also do it in the pinned comment later. Once the stream is over, make sure you put your deposit down, take advantage of tax. So he was born way before me. So basically what you're saying is you like seeing a Black woman look like a mammy on your pancake syrup. That just makes you feel so great. And then he's part of the community that say that they deal with issues and problems with white supremacists, but don't have no problem participating in it either. That's why I don't get involved with people's religion. I only focus it on white supremacy, period. There's a hierarchy in white supremacy, sure, but I never play that religion game because the religion don't matter in the system of white supremacy. It really don't matter. But this guy is saying he was just, and this is the thing. You miss seeing a man here on a pancake syrup. How did that affect what you were eating? Because they changed their oven to look more modern looking at that time period. How did it change the syrup? How did it change anything? The fact is, y'all have a sick obsession with Black folk in a subservient position. I can't get into your mind. I'm not trying to understand your mind. Because I don't want to see no group of people in a subservient position to me. I don't want to see no group of people put on a bottle in a horrible position and named so I can sit up and say, oh, look at that. Oh, boy. There was some good pancakes when you had the old slave on there, but now they changed the Pearl Milling Company. Oh, this stuff is horrible. Same recipe, same everything, but you want to see a mammy on there. And then you wonder why Black folks say the things that they say. And why Black folks don't even want to fool with y'all, Mr. Stein. Because now y'all have these conversations. Well, why Black people, they're not joining with us? Because the younger Black people actually see what y'all on. Let's go back.
So God bless you all. Have a good
So,
Now this guy here, he's the one that took the cake. And let's really deal with something that a lot of black people need to see. See, this is the things that's being said behind closed doors. See, even with Vince Stein, when he just said, he wasn't supposed to say that in public. He's supposed to keep that behind the scenes. Let's go.
If nearly half of all blacks are not okay with white people, according to this poll, not according to me, according to this poll, that's a hate group.
Isn't it funny how these people like to project on you and project on me? Black folks haven't done nothing to no group of people like his people. And they always trying to project. You remember I done the video, ladies and gentlemen, about how they used to roam in mobs to go and violate black women. And then at the same time, when they're constantly doing this, they would label black men as the violators. And black men weren't doing crap. So anytime they try to say something about you and me, remember, they're talking about themselves because they love to project. Okay? Let's continue. And then you say, we are hate. Wow. It's so funny. That's why I told y'all, if they speak it a lot of times, they lie.
That's a hate group. And I don't want to have anything to do with them. And I would say, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people.
Okay. That's the advice he gives his people. Get the hell away from black people. All right, got it.
Get the way. Wherever you have to go, just get away.
Well, let me get back on the screen. I want to assist this white supremacist here. I want to assist him. Now, I did a little research. And, people know I definitely support travel, passport bro, and anything else that has to do with travel. And I think what he should do is get his passport. If you don't have it already, get your passport, sir. Get your passport. And I did some research. And I found out that Poland is a country that's about 96, almost 97% Caucasian. What you can do is leave the United States and go back to Europe, Poland to be one of the countries. Just go to Poland. And you will not see black folks like that. Now I know there's some Africans in Poland, I understand that. But they're so far few in between. 96, almost 97% of the population in Poland is European. Another country you can go to, Malta. Malta is another country. Close to, I think, 95% European. There are many European nations that he can go to that he would not run into black folk. And the black folks that is in Poland, they're more so in the city because of school. They're not in these rural areas or anything like that, so he could never run into black folk.
Right.
What's this? This is the buying emotion color wheel. A simple 6-step system of persuasion.
You will never run into black folk. So why don't you take your happy self to Malta, Poland, you can go to Ukraine. Better place for you, actually.
Yeah.
Why don't you go to those places?
Latvia, Romania.
Go back to Europe.
Right.
If you don't like black folk, go back to Europe.
Exactly.
Black folk will still be in the African continent right now. If your ancestors wasn't so freaking lazy and picked their own cotton, okay? If your ancestors would have picked their own cotton and built everything on their own, right? We wouldn't be having this conversation. So if anybody needs to go anywhere, you need to get your happy self and go to Europe. It's just that simple. And when these people say that to you, black people, you start telling them, well, you know what? Get your passport and go to Europe. I'm not chasing you over there. I'm not even trying to follow you over there. Trust me, if you go, because sometimes say, well, we go back to Europe, you'll follow us. I promise you I won't follow you.
I won't.
I promise you I won't follow you. Ain't nothing over there I lost. Not a thing. Let's get back on the screen here.
Because there's no fixing this. This can't be fixed. Right? This can't be fixed. You just have to escape. So that's what I did. I went to a neighborhood where, I have a very low black population. Because unfortunately, there's a high correlation between the density And this is according to Don Lemon, by the way. So here I'm just quoting Don Lemon.
You're gonna quote Don Lemon. Why do you need Don Lemon's commentary to do anything that you
Right.
do for yourself? Like you can't even stand on your own points. That you gotta bring up a black man. You see, even in your decision making, you still can't do it on your own. You still need a black person to say
Right.
something to help you or validate something you got going on.
Exactly.
God.
When he noticed that when he lived in a mostly black neighborhood, there were a bunch of problems that he didn't see in white neighborhoods. So even Don Lemon sees a big difference in your own quality of living.
I don't know if Don Lemon said that or not. You didn't bring the video of Don Lemon saying it. You didn't bring a tweet of Don Lemon saying that. I don't know. To me, it could be all cap right now.
Right.
What you saying? You're just looking for a black person. Did you notice that? They'll sit up here and try to use a black person to validate their white supremacy. Listen,
Right.
you do not need black people to validate how you feel about black people.
Right.
You don't need it. Just stand on your own 2 feet. Stop quoting a poll. Stop quoting Don Lemon or any other black person. Just stand on your own 2 feet. But that's something you've never really done since you've been here. You didn't build America on your own. You had to depend on everybody. You had to steal from people. You had to do so many different things, outside of yourself. And even to this day, you still don't run America on your own, because now you sit up here, and the reason why immigrants flood this country where they flooded is because you still can't run the country on your own. If every immigrant in this country leave, they go back to their homeland, and black people leave, this country will follow them off, because you're not about to go out there and
Yep.
do no agriculture. You're not about to go out there and do no manual labor.
That's
you're
true.
not about to do you ain't about to do it.
No.
I know you. I know exactly who you are. Working
They call it
around you for
nigger
many
work.
years. I know how it is when you start doing manual labor.
That's true.
You fall apart, you can't stand it. You need other groups of men
Excuse
to
me.
do the work for you.
Based on where I live and who was there. So I think it makes no sense whatsoever as a white citizen of America
Sorry
to
about
try to
that,
help
Terry.
black citizens anymore.
Okay, now I want to stop right there and get back on the screen. I haven't met one black person in my life, and I've been living a little while.
Me
I
too.
haven't met one black person in my life to say, I need people like this one on the screen to help me. I can't make it unless they help me. I have never said that. I say I need the help of the Lord. I've said that. The help of my family. The help of my community. Sure. But I've never looked at or leaned on, depend on anybody like, I don't know no black people who saying that. Not a one. Even from a black person that's struggling homeless on the street, all the way up to the ones that got money, I haven't met one to say, man, life would sure be better if them folks help us. They never helped us. So why all of a sudden, who told you to help black people? I just want to know. Because I've met one of them, and listen, bring me a video, bring me a tweet, bring me something that some black people came up to you specifically and say, I really need your help, sir. Oh, my life would be better if you help me, sir. Black people are not asking you for anything. You just said you went to some little white enclave somewhere. Okay, don't help black people. I promise you, we'll be fine. Matter of fact, stay over there. Don't leave. Don't utter our name. Don't be around us. I promise you, we'll survive. We were surviving way before you showed up on the planet Earth, and we'll be surviving way after you're gone. That's why, see, let me tell y'all something else. That climate change stuff they talk about. Oh, the Earth is getting hotter. It sure is. You're right. That you're right about. The weather patterns are crazy right now. It's climate change. Well, it's called Father God getting the climate in order. You understand? And see, the Lord can make it 200 degrees Fahrenheit outside. As long as we have water in our bodies, and we have a constant flow of it, of course, it can't switch itself, we'll be all right. See, us black folk, we're children of the sun. We don't fear the sun. We don't fear that. We the sun get hot. It's fine. We'll be okay. That's why when I be hearing them talk about, we need to talk more about climate change in the African continent. We gotta help them. They don't need your help. They don't need you. Because they're children of the sun. Let's continue.
It doesn't make sense. It's no longer a rational impulse. And so I'm going to...
He said it's no longer a rational impulse. And no, you talking about you want you helping black folk. Black folk don't need you. We never needed you. We were fine in the African continent. We fine now. We don't need you, sir. We don't need you. We don't need you. We don't need you. I'm going to repeat that. We as a community don't need him.
I'm going to back off from being helpful to Black America because it doesn't.
Yay!
Like I've been doing it all my life, and I've been. The only outcome is I get called.
Hold on. That he said that he is not going to help out Black America. Beautiful.
Right.
Beautiful.
That's the only outcome. It makes no sense to help Black Americans if you're white. It's over. Don't even think it's worth it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, as you heard, now let me tell you what happened after that. His Dilbert cartoon has been removed out of all newspapers and magazines and publications. So, him saying that on the video, he hurt his own self. Now, he said really the quiet part out loud. These are conversations that happens when we're not around, or around other quote-unquote people of colors when we're not around too. When they feel that they're just as white supremacists as they are, and they're making these comments. The only reason they're responding to him, let me tell you something, them folks can't stand our goods, but they love our money. And any of them that get out of line and break code, you see, the code is this. We do listen, they feel that way about us just like he feels, okay? What he's saying is not so far-fetched as wrong, but he said it out loud. He put his face to it. He didn't go on the internet and troll behind a nameless and faceless account. Ben Stein said this, and he put his face out there. He put his name out there, right? So now, because we want their money, we got to publicly distance ourselves from you. We have to call you a racist. We have to say you're bigoted. We have to say it, even though we said the exact same thing that y'all both said, but you don't say that in public. That is breaking code, white supremacist code. You may stir up the black folk.
Almond Breeze Extra Creamy Almond Milk.
I'm gonna leave it right there, but that's true what he's saying. I mean, that's true. But I'm gonna finish this video. But yeah, this is part 2 of what Dilbert really said. And there's many people like that. I've come across people who are in the closet racist. And it's right. What Information Man was saying, up here in the north, in different states like Ohio, different places, they hide it. Michigan, Wisconsin, in different places, upstate New York, all the way to Maine. They hide their racism. The South, they open with it. They let you know. They let you know right away. Yeah, we don't like black people. Hey, I appreciate that. Ain't doing me no favor. But anyway, I just wanted to make this video, but this is a reality. Some people, I'm glad he exposed himself, and even Ben Stein. And there's many people to come. See, what hit in the dark comes to light. That's what some people don't realize. Because at the end of the day, it is what it is. What you see is what you get. But that's it for this video. But yeah, this is the other side of that story. What he really meant. Oh, and that was the finishing stuff for Information's channel. Yeah, he meant that he don't care. There's many people like him out there. And I'm not surprised. I'm 54 years old. I've seen it transforming in so many different ways. Racism does. It's not always on a one side versus the other side. You just never know where a person stand until you get them on emotional, you get them in an inebriated state of mind, whether it's on alcohol, drugs, and emotion, and you see the real side of someone come out, and they can't hide it no more. I don't know. It might be a devil or demon had them confess it, but that's reality, and it is what it is. And hey, like I said, black people gonna be all right. If they choose to separate, they gonna be okay. Hey, ain't nothing new now. And like you said, you go over to Europe, you go to Latvia, all them other countries. Like like some Ukrainians were saying, why? I ain't never seen so many people, Muslims and different dark people. Well, stay your butt over in the white countries. You feel that way. You ain't doing us no favor. Stay over there. But anyway, anybody feel like that, they need to stay their butt over there. And trust me, if it was divided that way, we would have no conflict for the people who think like that. It would be no problem. Trust me. So anybody, even if somebody come across this video, yeah, if you want people to come and feel that way, trust me, we're gonna be all right. We don't want to integrate with you. The ones who think like that, the subconscious racists people that's in the hit and like you hide behind avatars and stuff. That's true. You get it on out, and like you say, and then it say stay out of other people's business, and it won't be no conflict. But if you in someone else's business, that's what caused conflict. If you put your nose in everything, that's what caused conflict. So to avoid conflict with other people is don't get in their business. But can they do that? That's the question. That's the number one question. Can you leave alone if these people make you feel so uncomfortable because you can't stand? You think they're criminally minded or low educated, criminally minded. Why are you around them? It's a trust me, they don't want to be around you. And I don't know anybody that want to be around somebody think that they're criminally minded and low-minded individual. So let us prosper on our own. Let us work it out. We'll survive. We don't need your help. We don't need people like Scott Dilbert's help. That's for real. You keep it, and try to infiltrate like he's black because he's privileged, and that's privilege. Sorry to tell you that, but anyway, that's the truth. But I'm sorry it's been a long video, but I had to show you the whole video, the rest of the story, because sometimes you can't get into 20-30 minutes. It has to be explained out. Plus to get added amount commentary too anyway. And it's just nothing to be offensive. It's the reality of America. We already divided. Psychologically in our home, in our neighborhoods and everything else. We're already divided. People are already doing that. From every race. Some races don't want to be around other races. And they want to be around people that speak like, talk like them, their language and everything else. It's already happening. I don't know why people even make a statement like that. Other people naturally segregate themselves from other people based on race, based on length, culture, and based on culture. Even though we live in a multicultural society, but we're split up in division. The only time people think that it's okay when it's making money, exchange of money and resources off each other. Other than that, people go back to their own community. That's a fact. That's what all races in this country. They already divided. And some people think highly and differently of others. But anyway, that's the reality. It's America, the true America.